Let me read this.
Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded. Patriots post-game after a heartbreaking loss, losing 35-29 in overtime to the Dallas Cowboys. Patriots are now 2-4 overall on the season. So before we go through the numbers, gentlemen, let's just discuss the game as a whole. You're up, gentlemen. One of you guys can go before I start. I can't hear you, Ron. No audio. No audio.
No audio, Ron.
No mic.
No mic.
All right. Well, Kenny, go ahead.
Yeah.
You start it off while Ron works on his audio.
This is just crazy. I can't take this. I just can't take it. As a Patriot fan, this is just like we're in the days. Get this kid some help. It's heartbreaking to see his face after loss after loss after loss. It is heartbreaking. There is no reason we should not have this record. Say plain and simple.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have this record.
So the funny thing was, and I think they said it during the broadcast, is they could have very easily been 4-1 going into this game. And you see why they're 2-4. It's those little things that they just can't seem to do when you need them to. And the amazing thing was that the one area of the team that we really felt good about was the defense.
Yep.
Right? So if you sit there and you go through everything and you say, hey, at the end of the day, the defense needs to make one stop. I felt pretty good about that.
Me too. Defense did amazing.
In this game, they looked worse than they have in years. And I just don't understand. They kept giving up. And Dallas was running the same play. Romo kept saying it the whole time. They're running that double wide receiver on the outside, and the guy's coming across the middle.
Yep.
And somehow they kept giving up the slant.
Yeah. First and second quarter, they did amazing. Third and fourth quarter, they just lost it.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand what the defenses they were calling. Judon looked gassed. Like it looked like he was. There you go, Ron. We can hear you now.
There you go, Ron.
Hey, but it looked like Judon had run the Boston Marathon. They were showing the Boston Marathon clips before. Did he run that before he played in this game? Because he looked like he was just done. There was plays he didn't even rush. He just kind of sat there.
I don't know if you noticed this in the whole overtime. Every single player was gassed on that defense. They sustained many injuries in this game.
Green, thanks for joining.
They basically were running without any backups.
See, I don't. They got torched this entire game.
Look, they had 2 guys go down in the linebacking core.
Yeah.
They had 2 guys go down on the line. There were literally no reserves for them. And they were gassed because when when Dallas was lining up in overtime, they couldn't even get into position. That's how gassed they were.
No, this is where we are as Patriot fans, and this is where you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
There's two teams on that field.
Yep.
And one team had the ability to control that game from start to finish.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
They ran 7
I'm just saying
in the first quarter.
They were gassed in that overtime. The defense was gassed. They were out.
Because they couldn't get off the field, and the offense couldn't stay on the field.
Yeah, they were running shorthanded from the third quarter on.
Yeah, but so my point is this. If the offense could have done their job like they should have, we would have been okay.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. I'm letting you know what the facts were with the line and the linebacking core. They were running with no backups. It was just them. That was it.
I understand that. But then Dallas was beating us on the pass.
Of course they were.
So it wasn't even a matter of the linebackers and tackling.
Eric, it's apples and oranges. Everybody knew that Dallas was going to be able to put up offense. That was not a question. They have too many weapons for them to stop them. Nobody has stopped them this year.
I can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
I'm just telling you the facts. This is why I said Dallas was going to win this game.
Dallas should have won this game, though. So you're sitting here and you're making it sound like New England wasn't in this game at all. New England gave them this game.
We did.
Gave them this game.
I'm not saying they weren't in the game, but they were outplayed from start to finish. You see the numbers.
The numbers are. We're going to discuss the numbers, but
the numbers are lopsided.
You're starting to make excuses instead of.
I'm not making excuses.
They should have won this
game. Dallas is a better team.
They should have won this game.
Period.
There was no. Listen, even to make the stop before the field goal to tie it in overtime, they couldn't do it. They couldn't make one play when you needed them to make a play on defense.
Nope.
And then on offense, I don't understand what Aguilar first that drop killed him.
What's the time of possession for the Patriots? What's the time of possession?
Time of possession, 26-41.
Okay. How is the defense not going to be gassed? Any defense that's out there in that high of stress is going to be gassed by the end of that game. And look, they couldn't keep up. It was simple. They couldn't keep up to Dallas. It had nothing to do with the defense's talent. They just can't keep up with them.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question. Was Dallas' defense, other than those two giant hits that Mac Jones took?
Oh, my God.
Right?
I thought he was going to die.
Right? So, other than that, are you telling me Dallas' defense dominated our offense? Or our offense just was playing poorly where they didn't help the defense at all? I don't think they were.
I don't think Dallas played a great defensive game. No,
exactly. I don't understand. Josh McDaniels on 2nd and 10 decides to always run the ball and put him in a 3rd and 9 every time.
Look, I get that. That's why I can't pin this game on the defense. The defense played pretty solid considering who they were going up against. Like, when you can run the ball with two guys that can get 100 yards a game each, and then you can throw the ball where you have 3 receivers that you can choose from and a tight end that you can choose from and the running backs that are coming out of the back. And they all know how to run routes. They all do a great job of that.
Was Tampa's offense better?
What was that?
Would you not take Tampa's offense over Dallas's offense?
Not after what I just saw.
I still think Tampa's a much better offense, and we could shut them down. There was no reason we couldn't stop this team.
Yeah, but
I'm not even saying. Listen, Ron, you're making a valid point. They are a very good
damn good point.
Second best offense in the league. What I'm saying to you is this. If we have, and if I hear it one more time from a Patriot fan, the genius, how do you not design anything to stop them at least 1 or 2 series? I'm not asking for you to stop them every time. 1 or 2 series.
Well, they did stop them a few times, Eric. I mean, come on. They played pretty well.
Romo even said it. They were running the same damn play over and over again, and somehow they never adjusted to it. Ever.
How are you going to adjust to that offense? Tell me, how should they have adjusted?
First of all, stop going to man because it wasn't working. They were getting torched man to man. Stop playing some zone. Stop making them have to go underneath a little bit versus throwing 30-yard passes every time. Because obviously your corners can't keep up with their receivers. I get it. You're right. But then your job as a defensive-minded coach should be to figure out how to at least mask it a little bit. That didn't happen.
And this goes back to what we've been saying for the past 5 weeks, now 6. There is something wrong with the play calling of the Patriots. And like I told you when we had this discussion, if Bill Belichick's job is safe, and I said his job is safe this year. He's not going to get fired this year. But after the season, that is still open for debate because clearly they're not calling the plays that they need to call for the offense to do anything. Like you said, they keep calling these running plays and put them in a 3rd and 9 all the time. And that is because they don't have any faith They don't have faith in the kid. And he showed that frustration today in the coaching when they called the timeout, and it's like he had it. He had it. He knew what was going on, and he knows the plays. I swear, this kid learns faster than probably any Patriot that came in besides number 12.
So you mentioned this last week, I think, Ron, with Dante Scarnecchia and possibly giving him a call.
Yep.
That's going to happen too. Right. Isaiah Wynn is absolute bust. That kid gets destroyed.
Yep.
When he got hit, like literally there was nothing in his way. It was like destroyed. It looked like he looked like it was one of us trying to block him.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't understand. All right, let's look at some numbers real quick. Matt Jones.
Before you go any further, we got so hyped up in all of this.
Yep.
We didn't pay attention to all these people in chat, and like Chimera and Aaliyah.
Yep. Thanks for the bits.
We got a bunch of bits from Goofy.
Isla Banana. Banana. I believe that's it.
Aaliyah will just call
in here. Appreciate it.
And Chimera, 125
Third Mistress joining us again. Appreciate it. Thank you.
It is.
Gaming.
So I wanted to acknowledge them.
Thank you.
Because I was about to snap there for a little while.
Absolutely. I think we're all at a point. We got 15 minutes from Third Mistress. Thank you. Listen, it's the most frustrating thing to see. Like if you look at it this way, 0-4 at home.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
0-4 at home.
Sad.
Like that's the one area of the that you would feel comfortable thinking that they could at least a crowd something, and you're not getting any of that as well.
No, and the
fans looking him out or something during the game because he had bloody mouth. I don't know what's going on.
The fans are still behind the kid. We can see that because this kid, it is not his fault they're 0-4 at home. Not his fault because I have him down as one of my top 3.
So I got this to say though. I'm starting to think they're having a little more confidence in him because the kid throws the pick 6, and the next play they come out of is let's throw the bomb to Bourne.
Yep.
Right? So you tell me after you throw an interception, normally if they're trying to protect him, they're going to say, let's just try to keep this safe. Don't put them in another bad situation.
Well, they couldn't because they needed to score in order to take the lead. So.
That was, first of all, dangerous pass. Diggs got torched, though. Diggs got on that double move.
Diggs did get torched. I don't think it was that dangerous because I think he knew he had him beat.
Yeah.
I think he knew. I think the kid knows what where he's throwing it to. See, like when you watch the Jets with Zach Wilson, when he throws that ball, sometimes I don't think he even sees any defenders. There's a little bit of a difference. So
you know how we discuss as well, every time a running back fumbles, they get in the doghouse, they put him on the bench. So Ramad Stevenson looked good today, right? Held on to the ball. Damian Harris,
man. That's a man that showed up today.
But let me ask you this. Can we please sit Aguilar? Can this next game, Nelson Aguilar, like why? If he catches that pass in overtime, he's got a good 15, 20 yards easy.
I know.
Yep.
And that one hit him in the hands. The one that got picked off was a bad throw by Mac. It was a little high.
Right.
I mean, it still hit your hands, but it was a more difficulty. The one that hit Aguilar, it hit him dead in the hands on stride. That's a 15, 20-yard play, maybe even more.
At least because, I mean, the nearest guy was like 20 yards away.
So, Bill Belichick, sit him. Please. If you're going to sit running backs for fumbling, sit some of these receivers for dropping the ball.
Not for nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put Harry in that spot to see what happens.
Something, right? Throw the ball to him a couple of times. The kid's playing in the game now. Might as well throw it to him.
Yeah, you might as well.
You might as well. They can't design a couple plays for him and just try it.
Yeah. No, I mean this is what we keep driving in. It's almost like they forgot how to coach this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Look. I I don't know if it was Bill Belichick's decision to pick Mac Jones, but when you cut Cam Newton, that makes him your quarterback. No matter if he was forced to take him or not, because we really don't know, because Bill Belichick likes to do his own thing, and we always suck at draft picks. So I'm beginning to think he was forced to take him, and it's almost like he doesn't want the kid to succeed. At least not this year. That's the way I feel. I don't think I don't think it goes as far as that. But there's got to be something. There's got to be something that's driving him not to let the kid throw.
They showed him on the sideline after, and he's talking to Mac, and I think he was telling him, like, go get him, kid, whatever it was. He said something to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't look like he patted him on the shoulder pads, and he was like, go, just go do it.
At that interception, he was talking to him.
Right? So I don't think that he wants him. I think, though, that I don't know if they're spending too much time trying to coach this kid up and not focusing on the defense or the special teams. Another blocked punt on special teams.
Oh, my God. I like it. That's just that's just awful. It's awful.
He really hasn't had one in 3 years, and now he's got 2 in 2 games.
Yep.
Like, what is – I don't understand all these different things that they finally correct some of the penalties. I mean, the turnover, again, that hit, I think anybody would have fumbled that when Mac got hit. I mean, that was just, clear cut.
He got his bell rung. But again, you can't even blame him for that because the guy came so fast through the line.
It was a wrestling move. Kenny, if you were on the wrestling den, you'd be basically putting that up as one of the top takedowns probably in the history.
Yes. Blink of an eye. Boom. What happened?
Put him down. I don't know.
Look,
so, once again, this is Sports Unfolded. We're doing our Patriots post-game after a heartbreaking loss to the Dallas Cowboys, 35-29 in overtime. We are on live every Friday night on Sports Unfolded on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So join us on Friday nights at 6 p.m. as well. And this Monday, so tomorrow night.
Tomorrow. Oh, I don't know how.
And he's joining us for that too. NBA preview show. So we'll be all ready for that as well. Hopefully, Kenny, you got some good picks coming out of there because I feel like that could be.
I'm an NBA guy.
Alan, thanks for the subscription.
Yeah, thank you, Alan.
All right, so let's look at some of the numbers, gentlemen. Mac Jones, 15 for 21, 229, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Overall grade.
Yes.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
Grade would you give him?
Yes.
What grade? Not
yes.
Yes. What grade would you give him?
An A.
A.
At once he wasn't he 7 at once?
If it was a number, I would probably give him an 89.9.
All right. I'm giving him a B plus.
Which is a B plus.
B plus. So Damian Harrison, 18 carries, 101 yards, 1 touchdown.
Oh, he got an A. He
A,
was
right?
a man today. Like,
when you think about it, after the injury, and he's on one of my fantasy teams, I was a little nervous because he was questionable with the ribs, and he came out and he performed. Happy birthday to Alan. Alan, happy birthday.
There we go.
You got a birthday in the house as well. Too bad the Patriots couldn't give you a gift of a win.
Happy birthday, Alan.
Happy birthday, Alan.
Kendrick Bourne, 1 reception for 75 yards and a touchdown. See?
A B.
B.
It was a great play. So you got to give him that.
Overall, non-existent otherwise.
B plus. He B plus.
We got all the birthday wishes coming in for Alan. How about Juwan Bentley, sorry. 12 tackles.
A plus.
A plus.
Yeah.
One of the only linebackers that I saw actually contributing. I mean, we saw some Hightower.
And then he got hurt.
Then he got hurt.
I even said, "Oh my God, a Hightower sighting!" Right? He makes a great play, and then the next I knew it, he was out.
Uche looked like he made a couple plays because he was in there. Got a couple of holding penalties against them because he was in there. I mean, from the secondary, I didn't really see much that I would even want to discuss. Duggar did have 8 tackles and an interception. So, I mean, we could give him that. So let's look at some of the negatives. 567 total yards given up by the defense. 445.
Dak was good.
The pass
Dak
and
Prescott.
122 against the rush.
I gotta say, Dak Prescott, he's the real deal, man.
It looks amazing.
I've never seen him look this good.
So the best thing that happened to him was the injury.
Absolutely.
Because I think he appreciates football more now. You can see it. He wants to win. Like, he's willing his team every week.
Yep.
And as much as it annoyed me that we couldn't get a sack on him, he just, every pressure that we put on him, he just seemed to roll out, make a play. Roll out, make a play.
He's a smart quarterback.
Right? And then the deep balls, I mean, it just seemed like he got them to where they needed to be most of the time. And then that play at the end in overtime, the very last play to CeeDee Lamb, it was a perfect pass. Perfect pass. Perfect.
I'm gonna compare Dak to maybe like a Russell
Wilson.
Oh my God. Yeah, Russell Wilson, but only better.
Only better.
I think right now he is better than Russell Wilson ever was.
Wow.
I do want to discuss one thing though. As great as he is this season, Mike McCarthy is going to kill this kid's career. Because that guy's
oh God, yeah. Of course.
That timeout with the fourth and one, like, why don't you just put the clock and then kick a field goal? Like, he made some bad decisions. And then I think,
hey, it's not as bad as Urban Meyer.
I don't know though, because going for it on the, I think it was the 39-yard line, 35-yard line, and then Zeke didn't get it in the first quarter, and he throws a challenge flag. Like, bro, there wasn't enough evidence even if to overturn that.
No,
he's throwing the ball and made a flag like way up in the air, almost popped him in the head. This guy, I don't know. There's some bad coaches out there. I really don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, it's appalling how the coaches seem to have digressed in this day and age. It's almost like quarterbacks are winning despite them. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Brady, he's going to win no matter who's coach because he's just going to do his thing. And you got other quarterbacks in this league that are doing the same thing, despite bad calls by their coaches' decisions. And it's happening. I've noticed it probably about 3 or 4 times today alone.
Mm-hmm. And strong, very good call. What a game.
It's kind of shocking that, and we as Patriot fans are seeing it before our eyes, because I don't think the offense has called the right plays at all this whole season.
I agree with you. And Ace Max, thanks for joining. Just chimed in with Mike Zimmer, right? So great call, Mike Zimmer. I mean, that Vikings team should be so much better. In every game, it seems like it's overtime or, they're winning a late second. They can't. I mean, they barely beat Detroit.
Look, I predicted Minnesota making the playoffs because I think that's a hell of a team. And their defense should be much better than what it is. And it's all on the coaching, in my opinion, over there. It's all on the coaching. And
Kirk Cousins. Let's be Kirk Cousins because I don't think he's a very good quarterback. But that's a whole other story. So 82 to 50 in total plays run. 32 more plays for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
So to your point, I think we've seen Josh McDaniels, as great as he's supposed to be as an offensive coordinator, it drives me up a wall because I can already tell every time it's 2nd and 10, and you can see the way they're lined up. It's a run. It's a run.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I pin at least 3 of these losses on him. And today is no different. Today is no different. They made some bad play calling. It's like when you get the success of the first 2 drives, what was happening? Mac Jones was throwing the ball, and it was very effective. Then you stop doing that.
So I think
I don't understand that.
What is the Wildcat? What is that? I don't understand what we're doing with the Wildcat. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. No. I don't care that we scored a touchdown on it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like they're trying to get so creative and do these different things, and it didn't make sense.
It's just like they're thinking, just like they're making stuff up on the fly. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah. It's like in game, like all of a sudden, hey, we're going to decide to go Wildcat.
Yeah, right.
Hey, like what is that? Hey, we're going to just keep mixing up the backs. Brandon Bolden,
and the fact that you have only one quarterback.
Can we also discuss that
in the Wildcat?
Brandon Bolden is done. He made one nice play in this game. Other than that, you can't really use this guy for anything else.
I can't remember hearing his name, to be honest with you. Except for that one play, I think I know what you're talking about. It wasn't that great.
No, I mean, he stretched. He tackled just enough to make sure he got the first down. I'm not a big Bolden fan. I like them
Didn't
back.
They only need like 2 yards.
Yeah, I just don't. Even that, like some of the route running that they're calling, like it's a 3rd and 2, and you're literally telling a guy go like 2 yards. Like you're putting yourself in situations that's call it a 3-yard play, and then throw the ball to give yourself a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if he's a goal line brute. Stevenson to me is the goal line back going forward. I mean, if Damian Harrison can't get you in there, that kid can. He's 250. He's just a truck. You know what I mean? Give him the ball, let him run it in the end zone.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't fumble anymore, we good.
And I think he's learned his lesson.
He might have.
And I think we talked about it a little bit. 43-19 to 26-41 time of possession. Not going to win you football games.
No, if your defense is out there that long, they're going to get torched.
Here's the most annoying part of that is Dallas had over 100 yards of penalties.
Oh, 115.
Right? And yet you still can't win this game?
And they didn't accept some of the penalties, too. That's the thing. So it could have been more.
Like the special teams. So Joe Judge is in New York. We know about it. And this is why I'm starting to approach this thing. And I'm starting to look at it from a standpoint of we lost a lot of coaching. We're probably 3 or 4 years from this coaching staff that he has now that'll be ready and to dominate again. The years that they started, when he first started, they had Romeo Crennel, Charlie White, who are very good coaches, who have been in the league for quite some time, who understood systems, right?
Yeah, I missed that.
Yep.
And when you think about it, like he's starting from scratch. Gerard Mayo's never coached before.
No.
Steve Belichick's never coached before. Troy Brown's never coached before. The only guy that's been on this roster.
Wait, what does Troy Brown do? Is he the receivers coach?
Yeah. And I think his other son is the secondary coach. He's a coach on the team. The offensive line coach, again, brand new.
His dog is the water boy.
You know, so again, they've got to get to a point where these guys understand how to coach.
Yeah.
And that's why you're starting to see on the special teams, like those mistakes that we normally wouldn't make, they're making. Yeah. And it's probably because, again, the coaching is just so wet behind it.
It is a young coaching staff.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not young on a standpoint of age, but young as in head coaching or coaching experience.
But let's be honest. The problem isn't the wide receivers coach. The problem is not, the linebackers coach. The problem is the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach.
Offensive line, I agree 100%.
And the head coach right now.
Yeah, and
those are the problems right now.
Yeah, and I think McDaniels, listen.
I actually think Steve Belichick is doing a pretty damn good job. For a team that's being pieced together this season, I think he's done a pretty good job.
567 yards. Anyway,
I'm not saying today. I'm just saying in general.
And they haven't been able to stop the run all year.
Yeah.
No.
This is game 6 of we just let anybody and their mother run against us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand because we picked up all these big bodies. They said Godchuck, and you re-signed Guy and Barmore and all these guys that are supposed to be able to stop the run.
Yeah,
they're giving them 5, 6, 7 yards a pop.
And no one can tackle.
Right?
Oh my God! Well, who was it? Jones that missed that tackle going up the right side. Like he dives at him. Just plant your feet. Wrap around him and take him down. You don't just dive. Hell, if you're gonna dive at me, I'm gonna move, and you miss. It's simple. It's simple. You gotta plant your feet.
You're probably blown out a knee.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't blow out a knee or anything like that, but I'm saying if somebody's diving at me, I'm going to step to the left, and then there he goes. Woo!
I just, a lot of bad tackling.
Yeah.
You just, again, not normal. Can I say this? And I love the guy, but Devin McCourty looks like he's a step slow now. I just don't see him in plays as much
out there today. Right? Yeah, definitely did.
But all season, I really haven't seen him.
He had one good game so far.
And it's so, I don't know.
That was against the Jets.
Listen, as much as Gilmore, J.D. Jackson is playing a hell of a year.
He is, but because I'd like Gilmore to be there.
But he shut down Cooper today. I mean, Cooper really wasn't the factor. It was CeeDee Lamb, and again, that was Mills.
I had to face Dak and CeeDee Lamb in fantasy football, so you don't have to tell me about it.
Yeah, you already lost. That's a guaranteed loss.
I was way ahead at one point.
All right, so let's, as we do at the end of each of these shows, we do our Lighthouse Award. So top 3 players for the game. Kenny, you're number 3.
Matt Jones, excellent job.
Okay. Ron.
I have the same. I have Mac Jones number 3. I thought I might even have wanted him at number 2, but the man came to play today.
That man. Pats fan, Cowboys fan, that's 5 years off your life. Yes, it did. Absolutely took 5 years off your life. Me and Kenny were going back and forth for a little bit, and we both said we were pretty much going to have a stroke by the end of the game.
Yes.
It was nerve-wracking.
How do you think I feel?
Right, just back and forth at the end there. It's 3 touchdowns in 2 minutes. Neither team could move the ball. All of a sudden, it was 3 touchdowns in 2 minutes. I had Bentley at number 3. And again, I thought just from a defensive standpoint, he was the only one that stood out to me that was clearly involved in the game for the most part and made some plays.
What about Bethel?
Bethel made a nice play, but he's not really, to me, a top-notch defensive guy either. So
no, but he contributed on defense today because he had to.
Look, you know what? Yes. And that, when Jones went down for a little bit, he stepped in and he was the one that deflected that pass that ended up getting picked off. So, listen, if he had to be out there for an entire game, I'd be a little nervous. But I think he's
of course.
good in spot roles. I really do. And I love him on special teams. I thought he did a great job on special teams.
Yeah, well, he knocked that ball loose.
Right? And if we could have got that, think about that. How great would that have been?
Slater was there.
Fun, right? Mm-hmm. So close. Number 2, what do you got?
Bentley. The way he was there and he knocked that ball out.
That ball on the goal line, that was a great play.
I was like, yes.
Right? Yes. What was the odds of that? That was a great play. Great play by Bentley.
Great play.
Although they did score, Dallas did score on that third down.
They did.
We got a gift on that.
Yeah.
We got a gift on that one.
No, they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did. According to the rule book, they didn't.
Yeah.
But they definitely scored. We all saw it.
Yep. They broke that plan.
Ron, what do you got at number 2?
I have Harris. I mean, he showed up to play. He got 100 yards off of a team that doesn't give up 100 yards for rushing.
Yeah,
he was in there
overall in the NFL against the run.
He was amazing. He played well, and we all know he's beat up.
Yeah,
he's got some bad ribs. He's got some leg issues going on. So, and he still showed up. And even after getting hurt again today, he still rolled out there and still was putting up the yards.
Yep.
So I put him at number 2.
All right. I had Mac Jones, and I just thought this kid, the beating he took, and then to just come back and continue to sling it, without any hesitancy. You could see it in his face. Like, he wasn't nervous. There was plays where there was guys still around him, around his feet, around his arms, and he was still making throws.
If they would have won, I would have put him at number 1.
Yeah, that one throw to Myers when I think he got hit low and the guy kind of hit him up top, and they said it. The placement was just perfect where it shouldn't have made it there because he got hit in the shoulder, and I think he was getting hit low, and he stood in there and he took a beating. That line needs to improve, and until they do, you know what I mean? This kid's just doing all he can to just try to stay alive out there.
Stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Bee Gees right now, right? Yeah, there we go. I knew that was coming. See, I knew it, Ron. I called it. All right, number 1. Who do we got? Ron, who do you got at number 1?
I got
Number
Harris.
one.
I got Harris.
He's got Kenny jumped the gun. Harris for you.
That's okay,
All right.
Kenny.
Yep.
I got you. I got you. I have
That's how
Bentley.
excited he was about him.
I have Bentley. Like 12 tackles. A forced fumble, which we all know and love that play so much.
Yes.
It was big. And there was so many times where he's in around the play all game long. He looked like Judon of the past 5 weeks.
Mm.
I like that comparison. That's really
He
good.
was absolutely amazing today. Absolutely.
Good call. Good call. I had Damian Harris, and just the fact that he was questionable going into the game.
So we basically had the same 3 guys.
We had the same 3, just in a different order for the most part. And Kenny had Harris the same. But I agree with you, Kenny. Like, right, you just look at a standpoint of 18 carries, 101 yards, the touchdown. Yeah. He single-handedly, every time we needed a big run, it seemed like he was, fighting for those yards and was getting them. So really good week for him. Next week, my friends, we're at home again. We get our first win at home. We're playing the New York Jets.
Yeah, we do.
And if we don't,
I
don't know. I don't think we can do this show.
If we don't, there's
going to
stop being rumblings.
Yeah, if we do this show next week after a Jets loss at home, there's going to be F-bombs. I'm going to tell you right now, because I'm not going to be a hold back.
Hey,
I know.
Could you imagine if
pre-show
Bob Kraft,
some F-bombs?
I'm
doing it live.
Could you imagine if we get blown out by the Jets?
Zach Wilson comes and throws for 500 yards.
Right? And then all of a sudden, Kraft just loses it.
Fires
comes down on the field, fires Bill Belichick.
I can't wait for the F-bombs.
And makes Steve Belichick coach.
Jubra thinks they're going to lose, I guess, because he's saying he can't wait for the F-bombs. There's not going to be any F-bombs because we're winning that game.
Yes.
It's a 1:00 game, so we should be on about 4:30 or so to next week. But once again, I want to thank everybody that joined us live today. You guys have been great. Alan, again, happy birthday. Thanks for all the bits tonight. You guys have been great. If you enjoy our show, we do our regular Sports Unfolded every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Rhode Island Broadcasting. You can follow us live on Facebook. You can follow us live on Twitch at Rhode Island_broadcasting. You can follow us on Rhode Island Broadcasting on YouTube. You can follow us on social media at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, and Sports_Unfolded on Instagram. Also, listen to us on podcasts. If you don't have time to watch, listen to us while you're driving to work. Amazon, Anchor, Google, Spotify. It's so many different ways to listen to us. So many different ways to watch us.
So many ways.
Gentlemen, heartbreaking loss. Thank you for joining tonight.
Thank you.
Hopefully next week we have some good numbers to discuss. If Mac Jones can play like he's played the last 2 weeks plus,
right? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think we get a victory.
I think
Goofy, so. Thank you again.
Thanks, man. Everybody.
My birthday was 160. Okay. All right. You guys have a great night. Fans out there, thank you. Take care. Peace.
Have a great night, everybody.